am still a baby Christian. I'm about 3.5 years into it right now, and as a new Christian, there are many things that still don't make sense to me to this very day. And it was starting to get a little overwhelming at first with the amount of things that did not make sense until God did this. He decided to help me by giving me a real life illustration of what was going on by using my own children. So, as a mom of two small children, I can't tell you what a blessing it has been because time and time again, God has helped me to better understand my relationship with Him by taking my questions and then answering them through my relationship with my children. So, one day, I was reading my way through the Bible and I came upon a particular concept that I couldn't really understand, right? And unfortunately, I don't really remember what that was specifically. I don't remember the concept I couldn't figure out at this moment anymore, but I remember I was just feeling really stuck in that moment. And the next day, something happened between me and my son, who was around 3 years old at the time. And he asked me if he could eat some candy for breakfast. And I told him, "No, you can't, sweetie, I'm sorry." And he looked at me with slight confusion on his face and said, "Why?" And as I tried to explain by saying, "Sweetie, candy isn't the best thing to eat when you first wake up. You can have a piece for dessert after you eat your breakfast because the breakfast that I will make you will help to make your body strong." And then he looks at me with still a bit of slight confusion on his face, but eventually he just says, "Okay, fine." And at that moment, I could feel like the Holy Spirit was kind of breaking down that entire situation for me step by step. It was like God was telling me, sometimes you want to do something, and I tell you no, you can't, because it's not good for you. You ask me why. Then I try to explain it to you, but you still don't understand, just like your child right now. He is looking at you in that moment, and he's thinking to himself, why can't I have candy for breakfast? I love the taste of candy. It always makes me feel amazing after I eat it. Nothing bad has ever happened in the past when I've eaten candy. What is mom talking about? He doesn't understand that the reason nothing bad has ever happened after eating candy is because you've restricted it slightly for him already. And you make sure that he is already nourished with other appropriate foods first before allowing him to have a little. Now, there's no way that he would be able to fully understand any of this at 3 years old. And even when you tried to simplify it and break it down for him on a level that he might be able to understand it, he still doesn't really fully understand what you've said. And yet, even though he still doesn't really understand, in that moment, he looks at you and he remembers every interaction that he's ever had with you in the past. And he says to himself, well, I don't really fully understand what mom is saying right now, but she has always had my back. Everything she's ever done for me has worked out pretty well. And it's pretty clear that she loves me a lot. And I love her too. And because of all of that, I really do trust everything that she says. So, even though I don't fully get what's going on right now, I'm going to go with her on this. Now, obviously, he's probably not thinking all of those things in detail at 3 years old. But in so many words, I think that this is probably somewhat the process that's going on in his tiny little mind at that moment. And that's the example that I go to from now on. Every time that I don't really fully understand something that God said, I just kind of put my hands up in the air and I say, okay, Lord. Lord, I don't really understand this right now, but because of everything else that we've gone through in the past and it having worked out pretty well back then, I'm gonna go with you on this. I also think that we really need to realize how little we know in comparison to God, we really need to humble ourselves and realize that we're not gonna understand certain things, and that's just the way it's gonna be right now. Children really are an amazing gift from God, and I can see now that one of the reasons that they are amazing divine gifts from God is because that you have a living example with you every day, helping you and indirectly teaching you to better understand the relationship that you have with God. And that's pretty amazing. And I think we also need to realize that what I know compared to what my child knows is a drastic difference still compared to what we know versus what God knows. So even though we can use our children as small examples here and there, we need to remember that the reality between our relationship and God should be extrapolated like a billion times, if not more. So I hope that that was a fun example to help you while you continue on your walk with Jesus Christ, because I know that it was really helpful for me when I learned about it. So I just want to thank you so much for joining me today. And if you enjoyed this content, please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe below. It really helps out my small channel. And another way that you can help out my channel would be to check out my small Christian business, where I offer several different Christian products for you to enjoy, just like this little beauty here, a pretty little Christian necklace with some jewels around it, if you like that. And I will put the link in the description below for you. And thank you again, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.